Actors are required to utilize a variety of skills and able to make the characters they play believable. Whether it be to display a range of emotions or cry on cue or drastically transform their appearance. Other times, these talented stars are called upon to perform physically demanding tasks, such as busting out martial arts techniques for fight scenes.
I still know Kung Fu.
Those who are unable to perform them require a stunt double to do the heavy lifting, but those who can are absolute legends. It may surprise you that some of the biggest names in Hollywood are capable of more than just acting. Some of these badasses have serious martial arts skills, and maybe even could have pursued a career in the UFC in an alternate timeline. Names like Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Gina Carano, and Ronda Rousey come to mind when it comes to Hollywood stars who are bona fide ass kickers in real life. However, we're excluding those usual suspects from this list. Where's the fun in that after all? With this in mind, here are 5 badass Hollywood celebrities who could have been successful as UFC fighters. Number 5. Jason Statham. Whenever the name Jason Statham comes up, you automatically think fast-paced, hard-hitting action, and for good reason. The star of the Transporter series has emerged as one of the most recognizable figures in modern action cinema. Given his reputation, it shouldn't come as a surprise that Statham is a skilled martial artist in real life. In fact, the Englishman is so proficient that he's arguably on the same level as some professional MMA fighters. That means he could have made a serious push in the Octagon if he had chosen to do so. Kickboxing is Statham's forte, as is evident in his highlight reel of spectacular fight scenes, but Statham is no slouch on the ground either. The actor is a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, meaning he can lock up with some of the best submission artists in the UFC. On top of that, Statham is also a practitioner of Eastern martial arts disciplines, such as Wing Chun, Kung Fu, and Karate. No wonder this man has carved out a niche for himself and has been an action movie juggernaut. Number 4. Joel Kinnaman. Swedish-American superstar Joel Kinnaman does some of his best work during action scenes. From his work in movies such as Suicide Squad and RoboCop, as well as TV shows like Hannah and Altered Carbon, Kinnaman was able to hone his skills in fighting. In fact, it was through working on the sci-fi Netflix series Altered Carbon where Kinnaman discovered something that he grew obsessed with: the wonderful art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now, it has become a staple of his workout routine, with Kinnaman earning his blue belt under the legendary Rigan Machado. The actor even admitted that he's literally addicted to the sport. On top of that, Kinnaman also trained in a variety of disciplines, including Taekwondo, Filipino martial arts Kali, which uses knives and other melee weapons. Being a single-discipline fighter, Kinnaman would be one-dimensional in an MMA fight. Then again, we've seen a handful of specialists thrive in the Octagon based solely on their mastery of the gentle art. Veterans Damian Maia and Jakari Souza, as well as BJJ ace Mackenzie Dern, have all made successful transitions from the mat to the cage. Number 3. Mila Jovovich. Mila Jovovich rose to prominence for playing a string of roles in action movies, making her the quintessential action heroine of the 1990s and early 2000s. With her passion for taking on powerful, fearless roles, it's reasonable to say that Mila, more or less, laid the blueprint for female ass kickers that came after her. Her secret? Lifelong training in martial arts. The Fifth Element star has apparently been studying martial arts since she was a teenager. She said in previous interviews that she's well versed in Taekwondo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, making her lethal on her feet and on the ground. Now, does that remind you of a certain UFC champion? Her commitment to martial arts has drastically paid off in her acting career. Jovovich has relied on her combat skills in portraying Resident Evil's protagonist Alice, her signature role. In doing so, Jovovich has left an indelible mark as the preeminent female action star of this century. Number 2. Idris Elba. When he's not running a drug empire, protecting a magical realm, or hunting down deranged criminals, Idris Elba likes to spend his time inside the boxing ring. The British icon surprised the world in 2016 when he made his professional kickboxing debut. Apparently, the actor took up martial arts as a personal challenge, and his journey to the ring was filmed as part of a documentary on the Discovery Channel. The 3-part series, called Fighter, sees the star of The Wire travel the globe attempting to hone his skills in the science of 8 limbs. Even more impressive, Elba won his combat sports debut at the age of 44. That's a mind-boggling feat given most pro fighters begin training from a very young age. And when you think about it, Idris was doing the things Jake Paul is famous for even before Jake Paul was a thing. In an interview with The Sun, Elba revealed that he hoped to follow up his kickboxing success with a foray into the squared circle. Unfortunately, his mom and wife dug their heels in and prevented Elba from making a comeback in competitive combat sports. Honorable mentions. Before we get to the top spot, let's give a shout out to some of the lesser known stars who could still be great fighters in the cage. Priyanka Chopra. One of India's most recognizable faces, Priyanka Chopra is the complete package of brains, brawn, and beauty. On top of being a renowned actress, model, and former Miss World, Priyanka has built up a considerable reputation for being a badass action star with her extensive knowledge of karate, jiu-jitsu, and Indian martial art, Gatka. Scott Adkins. The star of the Undisputed franchise is a master of no fewer than 6 forms of martial arts, namely karate, judo, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, krav maga, and ninjutsu. If you're unfamiliar with his work, pause this video right now and watch Boyka Undisputed right this moment. You're welcome. Number 1. Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves apparently got hooked on martial arts in preparation for his role as Neo in the first Matrix movie. The Hollywood icon has since been entrenched in the combat lifestyle, becoming a discipline of several different martial arts over the years. Now, Reeves has emerged as an era-defining action star of the past 2 decades. "I know Kung Fu" is one of the most iconic lines from his 1999 starrer. But in real life, Reeves knows more than just Kung Fu. The Canadian actor is trained in boxing, jiu-jitsu, wushu, and krav maga. He later went on to learn judo and karate for his recent role as John Wick. Keanu's martial arts skills have definitely played a significant role in his ascent to superstardom. His skills, along with the weapons training he underwent, allowed the actor to do the vast majority of his own stunts in John Wick and its sequels. After all, he didn't put in thousands of hours of grueling martial arts training just for a stunt double to take all the shine. As a result, director Chad Stahelski was able to use longer, unbroken shots in the movie's fight scenes, making John Wick a violent piece of art fit for a museum.